no policy document of the EFF suggested that we move to a particular direction and abandon our principles. Let's take a principle on borderless Africa. There is this imaginary sponsored attack on the EFF that, we will not vote for them because of they want the borders to be opened and all of that. It can't change. If we are ahead of society, sorry, it's not our problem. Because the borders are not there, and the borders are naturally going to just fade away, and we're going to live together as we're living together now. Ordinary people are already living together now. So we are so backward that ordinary people have taken the lead.
Let's interrogate that a little bit. Don't you think, right, that correct as that position is, I'm sure you know I agree with that position. You know, I can speak endlessly about the xenophobia, etc. Right? You've just said now that some of your own members, despite that we are Marxist organizations, sometimes get confused about this whole issue about, you know, integration, unity of Africa, etc. Don't you think those who are not members could even be even more confused in a way that you package that message? For example, where you just say, well, you know, they must be creative. I'm quoting you verbatim. I don't know what was the context, but where you had said, no, they must be creative. If they have to swim through here, let it be. Then later on, you were clear to say, yes, but they must have documents, which are two different things. Trust me on that.
No. They must be creative. It was during COVID, where the workers were locked out of their country. They work here. They've got papers. So I was not saying they must come in
without papers.
Without papers. They are the workers who were asked, please go home. Everybody stay in your houses. We've got this problem. And as the problem is going away, they are refusing to open the gates for those workers, especially the compliant ones who have documents and all of that. That's all I was addressing. But because propaganda is propaganda, they will twist it and create an impression that, no, he said they must flood into here. And then
what does your own research tell you, though, about whether that issue, right, could actually have cost you votes? You were clear, right? I think you were asked by one of our colleagues that, you know, would you retract that situation in order to get votes? And you said, oh, well, I would rather not have those votes.
There's no research that suggests otherwise. Even if it was suggesting anything of that sort, I won't do it. I would rather go home. I'm not going to agree that I must speak very bad and ill about black people for me to be elected president of South Africa. So it means I will be climbing on top of my people, using them to become what I want to become. Even if I become president, I want to enjoy it, because you want to become the president to help the oppressed masses of our people. Who are the oppressed masses of our people? It's blacks and Africans in particular. The whole continent has got a problem, and it needs a revolutionary leader who's going to lead from the front in determining the liberation of our own continent. So we did not form the EFF for purpose exclusively of elections. EFF was formed with an intention to conscientize the black child, to liberate the arrested mind of an African child. That African child must speak truth to power and must be proud in their blackness, and that they must never apologize and seek to want to be like other people, because we are the best. And our best is demonstrated by the fact that we survive under very difficult circumstances.
Why do you think black consciousness orientated organizations in the context of a new South Africa, say post 94, right, end up in the margins? I mean, look at Azapo. I mean, Azapo, he had big intellectual giants who could tell you, 10 times the theory you've just told me now,
So do you know what we call ourselves in the EFF? We call each other fighters. What did they call each other in Azapo?
Tower.
Tower. What is a tower?
Are you saying that they're detached?
No, that's what they were saying. They were calling themselves tower, that When they speak, they say we're towering above them. So they enjoy speaking the language no one wants to hear. So, and it lost a mass character.
Yeah.
So they were saying they are towering, tower. They were meaning they are above us, and they don't care.
But
so,
you say the same thing. Only
no,
say
I'm not saying
superior logic.
No.
I'm superior
saying,
to who?
I'm saying we are so advanced. You see, President Mbeki, we hated him for one thing. He was too ahead of all of us. You can only disagree with him on TV. When he sits here and he unpacks why South Africa must have a female president, we're going to have a female president. Out of what President Mbeki would have told us. Because he was ahead of his time. And that's what the EFF is suffering from.
Let me pause. I want to pick that up after the break, because the reason I was asking about this organization like Azapo ending up as a boutique is that you got a situation where the history of all the small parties, PAC, for example, Azapo, etc., are fading. I want you to tell me straight in my face tonight why the electoral decline when you had been on such an upward trajectory. Look, man, why the electoral decline? I've not had a chance to talk to you about it, after the elections, because we are very busy putting together a new government or not.
Yeah.
Why the decline? Your assessment by now should be clear.
We suffered, like all political parties, to the MK. The EFF's numbers look exactly as we know them. We are not where we were in 2014. We got certain numbers in 2014, increased those numbers in 2019. And where that increase came from was in KZN. And that's why in KZN, we reduced our members to mere 2 members of the legislature. And in most other provinces, we increased our members. So we know where our problem comes from. Our problem is in KZN, our people were misled and organized on the basis of tribalism and backwardness, and lies, and in the main. And therefore, we are duty-bound, and I'm happy I see the public representatives and structures of the EFF province in KZN on the ground, servicing the masses of our people as we prepare to open schools tomorrow and weeks to come, and also leading issues of service delivery. So EFF, it will never be like AZAP or PAC, because what is going to make EFF survive is that it must maintain its mass character. It must have an intimate relationship with the masses. But in doing so, you don't become the masses. You have to be, as leadership of the EFF, advanced detachment of society. Because society sees you as a doctor of society. That when we have problems, the person who's going to heal us is this one. So as a doctor, you have to demonstrate certain qualities that I've got this. So if they lose the mass character and want to become elite, which exists for purposes of elections and to benefit the mere few individuals who have got proximity to the leadership, then it will die a natural death. The EFF can't be killed by individuals like Malema. The EFF can't be killed by anyone except its own members on the ground who will say this is no longer serving its purpose. So,
I'll come to that, but I want you to zone in on the MK. Basically, you are saying your problem was MK.
Yes.
MK has chowed your breakfast.
Absolutely. MK took from us in KZN, in Gauteng, where MK got, that's where the EFF votes have declined.
It's my impression that...
And in Mpumalanga.
I've got 2 impressions you may correct. One is that you wanted Zuma to endorse EFF.
Yes.
He refused, he formed his own party.
Yes.
So immediately at that point, am I right to say you didn't think that he was going to propel to such a rapid upward trajectory? In other words, you assumed, right, that he will come in way below EFF, and then you'll be able to partner with them. So there was never a dismissal of of MK as a potential partner?
Well, we knew that President Zuma is going to form a party after we persuaded him to endorse the EFF. Just imagine if President Zuma had endorsed the EFF, we will be very far, especially when he talks about this unity of political
progressive forces.
Yeah, you find a progressive party, and then you say, no, I'm going to form another party so that you close your party and join my party. No, we were not saying close anything. We were saying endorse. I even went beyond to say we can then sit down so that you address your concerns with me and say, you know, when you guys take over, the following issues need to be attended to. It was an honest discussion that me and him had.
So what went wrong? Because
no, nothing went wrong. His mind